correctly. For some of you, this might be the first time joining the webinar session, so welcome. Welcome to component number 1 of the Teachers App Initiative. Teachers, let me tell you that we have a lot of surprises. Well, not surprises, a lot of things prepared for you. We are working on more teacher training opportunities for the Teachers App family. And this specific series of webinar is specially prepared for teachers of English in-service and pre-service teachers. Today, we're going to be talking about a very nice topic, very important topic, which is engage, empower, excel, using technology to foster interaction in the English classroom. This is the first, as I said before, the first session out of 8 that we're going to have this year. And we will be covering topics about language acquisition, about language teaching. So I truly hope we all get to learn a lot from these experiences. Today we have Irvin Romero, who is our speaker. I will be introducing him in just a couple of minutes, but before we get started, just let me take you through some general reminders. Number 1 is that this session is being recorded. We always do that because we share the video with other teachers who cannot make it to the session because of the time, because of work, because of other issues. So we record the session and we share this to all interested teachers once the session is over. Also, since this is a webinar that will include a lot of participants, actually, we're waiting for more than 100 participants today. We kindly encourage you to keep your microphones muted during the development of the session. At the end, or close to the end, we're going to open up a space for everybody to share, or for those of you who would like to share. But during the session, if you could please keep your microphones muted, that will be awesome. Also, do not leave the session without completing the attendance form. I will be sharing the link later. When we're just about to finish the session, I will be sharing the link so that you can record your attendance. This time, differently to what we did in the previous year in 2023, we are issuing e-certificates for all attendees. But how do we issue certificates? You need to complete the attendance form so that we pull the information out of Google and then we issue your e-certificates. So once again, welcome everybody. Welcome on board. I'm so happy to see people still joining the session. And as I always say, it's so nice to see familiar faces and some new faces here. We have teachers of English from all El Salvador and from outside our country as well. So thank you so much for joining. Our speaker today, Irvin Romero, with over 9 years of experience. Irvin is an accomplished English teacher instructing various age groups across NGOs, academies, and schools. He graduated from Centro Supérate Casa Sonsonate in 2011 and pursued further studies through the studies of the U.S. Institute's program, SUSI, in 2013. In 2017, he attained a bachelor's in language and literature education from the University of Sonsonate, achieving scholarship recipient in 2019-2020. Irvin pursued a Master's of Science in Language Education from the University of Edinburgh. He is currently working as an educator for a specialized court of childhood and adolescence. So Irvin has been participating. Irvin has been a speaker of the Teachers App Initiative some times before. And now I'm so happy, super happy to have him again. Irvin, I will just pass it all to you. The floor is yours. I will stop sharing screen so that you can start, okay?
Awesome. Thank you so much for the invitation. And here. Let's get started. Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody for being here. I know that it takes a lot of energy, right, to show up to a webinar after a whole day of teaching, maybe, or doing whatever you're working on. So I appreciate your time. I was super excited when Video contacted me to kick off the webinar series with this topic, in which we're going to learn how to engage, empower, and excel our students through technology so that we can foster interaction in our classrooms. The main objective by the end of this webinar is that you will be able to implement online tools so that you can help your students develop their speaking skills. Now, I know that the title says in the classroom, but I went a little bit further and I was also thinking of ways that you can implement these tools for your students outside the classroom. So I hope that you're ready for lots of learning, because I promise you, you will be learning a lot. Now, I guess that I'm going to start with this first part, because I know that we all get excited when we hear technology and speaking skills, right? It's like the perfect relationship. And we assume our students love it, but I do wonder, does it really help our students develop their speaking skills? Now, I know that there's this common belief that it does, it helps, but what does the evidence says? So I decided to look into some research about what the evidence says on how technology helps develop the speaking skills. And here's what I found. I'm gonna show you this game. I know that you've played it before, maybe, and it's the Who Wants to Be Millionaire game. And basically, what we're going to do is I'm gonna be asking you a question. There will be four options, and I am going to choose a person who will give me the answer that they think it is, and then we're gonna discuss it. Okay. So here we got the first question, and it is, what are some of the benefits that our students can get when we incorporate technology to practice speaking? I'm gonna count to three. If there's any volunteer, you can raise your hand. If there's no volunteer, then I'm gonna choose the volunteer, right? So let's go at count of three. One, two, three. No volunteers? Oh yeah, there's one volunteer. Amazing. We got teacher Edgardo, and then teacher Juan Carlos. You will help me with number two. So teacher Edgardo, help me out here.
Hi.
We got,
Well,
hi. Thank you so much for joining, teacher. And here we have the four options. Teacher, before you choose, you need to know that you have two lifelines, okay? So you have the 50-50, and also you have the poll. So we're gonna ask everybody in the room, right? So the first option is, if we incorporate technology, our students gain vocabulary. If we incorporate technology, our students become more fluent and confident. C, they better connect with their peers. Or D, they engage more in the process. These are all benefits, but there's one that it's more present than the others.
got it. So I gotta say letter D.
D, are you sure?
Yes. Let's give
Are
it a
you
try.
completely sure?
Yes. Yes, I
Yes.
am.
All right. Well, actually,
Oh
thank you so
no.
much. All right. Actually, I'm gonna tell you something. It's that also for me was surprising, because we do believe, and it actually does. Technology engages students, but something that it's even more beneficial about using technology with our students is that they become more confident and fluent. Now, why is that? If we think about it, when our students are using technology with their phones or something, they are able to redo it, right? If they feel like they're not doing it all right, they can just delete whatever they were doing and they can try again. So that makes them feel more confident and fluent, right? So that's basically the first one. Thank you so much, teacher. Now we're going to go with the answer was actually letter B. There we go. Thank you so much. We're gonna go with question number two. And we're gonna ask teacher Juan Carlos. I saw you raise your hand.
That's
Teacher,
right.
what are some of the challenges that students face when using technology? Challenges. Letter A, they become more self-aware of their mistakes and therefore more afraid of speaking. B, they identify their own mistakes. They have difficulties identifying their own mistakes. C, they become more anxious as they are exposed on the internet. Or D, they generally encounter tech inconveniences that do not allow them to complete the speaking task. You
I
have two
would
lifelines, right? 50-50. You also have the poll.
Okay. Let me see. I would incline to letter D.
D, tech inconveniences.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You don't want to use any lifeline?
No.
Sure, completely sure.
I'm
Okay.
completely sure.
All right. Now, this one here, as you said, it is indeed a challenge, teacher. It is indeed a challenge. But one of the most prominent challenges that we face as teachers is that our students, when they do these activities, normally many technology or technological tools do not give them immediate feedback, especially when it comes to practicing speaking, right? So I guess that the biggest challenge for them is that they are not able to identify their own mistakes. They don't receive immediate feedback. We give them feedback now, but sometimes that feedback is not immediate, and sometimes students do not even pay attention to that feedback, so it's not corrective. And if it's not corrective, then chances are they are not going to really absorb the feedback we're giving them, right? So that's what we got. Thank you so much, teacher. So far we have, let's see, we're gonna start again, and now so you can see, we see that the benefit of using technology is that our students become more confident. We also see that one of the challenge is that they might not be able to identify their own mistakes. We go with the third one. I saw one hand that was raised a moment ago. But I didn't really read the name. So I want to ask again, at count of 3, if there's another volunteer. 1, 2, excellent. There is one already. Excellent. Eliseo and Wilson. Great. So teacher Eliseo.
Yes, sir.
Hi, good to see you there.
Very good to see you. Thank you.
So here we have the question for you, teacher Eliseo. You can use the lifelines, okay? That's why we have that. So we got, how do students feel overall, in general, right? How do they feel towards the use of technology to practice speaking? They hold positive feelings towards the use of technology. They show apathy. They seem to be indifferent, like reluctant to using it, or they don't like being exposed to tech resources when it comes to their speaking. What do you think?
I will go for letter C, although I want to try the lifelines. I'll go for 50-50.
50-50. Amazing. Good. First one you said.
Okay.
We also have the poll,
Yeah.
right?
All right. Yeah. So then I'll go for letter C.
Letter C? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what research says actually is no. I mean, again, what I want to tell is I know that all the answers are very similar, and one might assume that that's the right answer. But overall, what research says or emphasizes is that students actually enjoy and like technological resources to practice their speaking. And that's like an overall opinion of the students. Now, there's not really a study in El Salvador, right, to see if Salvadoran students also like it. But in many countries, it's been shown that students do enjoy it, right? More than the fact that they might be afraid of being exposed. So that's a takeaway, right? Thank you so much, teacher. And we go now with so far we've seen that they become more fluent. We've seen that they might not be able to identify their mistakes. we've seen that they hold positive feelings towards music. And we go with next one. This is number 4. And we got teacher Wilson. Hi, Wilson.
Hi,
Nice to see you and have you here.
thank you. It's a pleasure.
So, Wilson, which of the following statement is true? Technology use should be minimized in the EFL classroom. Technology, when overused, causes uninterest. We should use as many tech tools as there are available to keep students engaged. Or technology should be used routinely.
Oh,
You
well,
have
actually,
lifelines.
actually, I'm for D, but I would like to use lifelines. I
Okay.
think 15-15.
50-50. Okay.
Oh, okay, that was
Hmm.
great. Okay, let me think now.
Yes, you still have another lifeline, right? So
Yeah. Can I use people opinion?
yes, you want
Okay.
it? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. I want you also to be looking at the participants' names, and if you guys think that the answer is letter A, react with a heart. If you think it's letter C, react with your thumbs up. Okay. So that
Great.
Wilson can make his choice. A heart or a thumbs up. Okay. We see already 11 people have 15, 17 people have 20 people have their thumbs up, and 3 have a heart. Okay. So it seems, Wilson, like most people are saying it's letter C.
Yes.
Okay. Question is, are you gonna trust them, or will you go with your gut instinct?
Okay. I will listen people, so let's go with letter C.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
And the answer is correct.
All right, great job.
Very good. Now,
All right, thank you.
very good. So basically, just never stop trying. Very good. Good. So basically, what's important about this is that if we're gonna use technology, we give the chance for students to get used to it. So an ideal way to integrate technology for speaking in our classroom to foster interaction is to have a routine, right? So for instance, every week or every month, once a month or so, students are using certain technology, okay? So, all right, so we already saw some of these benefits. Let me add sec here. All right. So we already saw some of the benefits and what the research said. So we learned that it is beneficial, and we learned that they might have some difficulties. So it makes me wonder, does old technology work? Now that we looked at the research and now that we found out that it's actually beneficial, I wonder, does everything we find on the internet, do all of those resources help our students boost their speaking skills? I guess that it's important for us to identify a certain criteria that can help us define whether the technology we're planning to use is actually effective or not. So my question is, I'm pretty sure that most of you, if not all, have already used some sort of technology in your classrooms. So what is the criteria that you use to choose the technology in your classroom? I guess that there is a poll, right, Ovidio? Can you help me with that? Is it there or?
Yeah, I will just enable it now.
All right.
There.
Okay, good. So right now you have the chance to write your answers. What are the criteria you use to choose the technology? Right? What do you see in the technology to use it? What are the aspects?
Yeah, we will keep the poll open for a couple of seconds, so please make sure you type your answers there.
So we got already 7 responses. That's amazing. 8, 10, 11. Maybe when we get to 25 or 30 responses, right?
Okay. 16.
Oh,
Oh,
we're getting there.
sometimes I'm very slow when I type, so
Okay. We can
I
get
will
more
feel
time.
identified with my teachers here, so we'll give them a little bit more time.
Perfect. So think about
The poll is closing in 3, 2, 1, 35, 36, and 40. All right.
amazing. Okay. So we can see the results, right?
Yes.
Let me see. I don't see the results though. How do I see them?
They should be visible now.
Okay. Should I
I
go
have them
stop
here.
sharing? Okay, maybe you can read them for me. Can you?
Okay, so somebody says games. I personally make sure they engage fully with the topic. Comprehension of the activity's engagement. The goal you want to achieve with the activity.
It's very
My
important.
students needs and abilities to domain the tools to incorporate. Let me read this. All my students need to have access to internet. It needs to
Accessibility.
be user-friendly.
Mhm.
And let me go for another one. They need to meet the class objective. I need
That's it.
to somewhat know if it is easy for students to access them and to
Mhm.
use them.
Okay.
And the last one, easy to use.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for participating. Now, I guess that many of the things that you have just mentioned are the ones that I will be talking about right now before I show you all the tools. Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to evaluate the tools in light of the criteria, right? So some of the inclusion criteria that I propose is first that the technology is available in our region. Sometimes we use it in another country, or sometimes it's very limited in certain parts of the world, right? Another one is accessible, meaning that students can have access to it, but also in terms of how easy it is to understand it, right? And how easy it is to navigate it. Affordable, sometimes there are certain tools that we have to pay as teachers or that students should be paying. And sometimes there are also some that are free, but limited features. Suitable, can it be adapted to a student's level? Authentic or authenticity, meaning do students produce original language, or does the tool make students just produce some sort of structured, specific structure? It will depend on what I want. If I want students to be using authentic language or something more structured. And then engagement. Will students have fun using it? Will students enjoy it? All right. Now, the most important criteria, and that should be the very first one to lead our decision, is what does it add? What's new in this tool that is not available in a traditional tool or traditional method? What is its value itself, right? And what is the objective? How does that align with my objective? So I'm going to show you now some tools that I've used for my students to foster that interaction that I've seen that they have worked wonderfully and that they comply with many of these criteria that we have seen right now. And so the first one here that I propose to you is TalkPal. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but TalkPal is just amazing. TalkPal is basically this tool here I have here. Give me a minute. All right. So TalkPal, it's this tool you see here, and basically it's chatting or speaking with AI. What I like about TalkPal is that it allows you to choose the language, of course, English in our case. It also allows you to choose your level, and it's very, very student-centered. meaning that AI will be making you lots of questions. So now all you have to do, of course, is to create an account, right? I already have my account, so I automatically went there. But if you don't have your account, then you will have to start with the details. After you do your sign up with your email and password, then it will launch this page here. So you go here, you choose the language, right? In my case, it's English, and then you go with chat. Now, for the free version, you have 10
Hey,
minutes
I'm
per
Emma,
day.
your personal AI language teacher. Ask me anything, or click on a topic below.
There you go. So you can with the free version, you have 10 minutes for free, and that's daily, every day. So what I like about it is, well, for instance, it gives you here the option. I'll go with you decide. You tell me, Emma. So Emma starts typing.
How would our lives change if we could remember all of our past lives?
Now you hear her speaking really fast because that's how I said it. But here, you go to settings, and in settings you can have, or you can choose the voice speed, right? It's normal. You can choose here the level, and let's go with intermediate, right? In the target language, you go with done, right? Okay, and then the chat resets. Okay, and so
Hey, I'm Emma, your personal AI language teacher. Ask me anything, or click on a topic below.
okay, so what you see is that it also speaks. I'll go with you decide. And so Emma starts making
What would
questions.
happen if everyone was required to take a year off from work every 5 years?
And then I'm gonna give the example of what we can do. I'm gonna record a voice note, right? You can type, you can say da 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 da, or you can also send the voice note here. What would happen if everyone was required to take a year off from work? I am going to allow the microphone here. Okay. I think, oh, here. I think that if everybody,
Apologize, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you going to say?
I think that if everybody took a year off, we would all be very, very happy. Okay, I guess that here it goes. Wait, give me a sec. There. As you can see here,
That's an interesting perspective. Taking a year off from work could
types
indeed
here
provide a
what
much
I
needed
say,
break and
right?
potentially
And then
contribute
normally
to
gives you
overall
feedback if
happiness.
you make a
However,
mistake. So
there
if you
might also
go
be
here,
economic
you
implications
see
to consider.
see feedback,
What activities or
meaning it
hobbies would
shows
you
you
pursue
what
during
you've
your
done
year
well,
off?
right?
What
If
do
you
you
corrected
enjoy doing in your free time?
as well in the explanation for it. So now, how would that look in our classrooms, right? Here. So how would that look in our classrooms? Well, first, we need to think that it's accessible, meaning that you can use it on your phone. It's important to know that there is not an app, an official app, right? But you can go to the browser on your phone and they can use it. They can use it there. It's affordable. It's 10 minutes a day. I think it's good. It's authentic because Emma, in this case, is making you lots of questions, and all these questions force our students and force us to generate these very original ideas, right? We are incorporating everything we know about English in order to respond, right? It's engaging because it makes a lot of questions about things that you like, and the questions are based on the responses that you provided. Now, the use. How do I use it? How can I incorporate it? Basically, because we only have 10 minutes every day, I would ask students to take the first or the last 10 minutes of the class for them to speak with Talkpal, either chatting or either sending voice notes, right? You decide how you want it. And it works wonderfully, right? You don't have to do it necessarily every day, but you could do it once a week, for instance, Friday, speaking Friday. And so students go with Talkpal at the end of the class to do some free speaking, right? So this is Talkpal. We have the second one here, and this is also one that I enjoy a lot personally, and this is HiLocal. Hi Local. It's basically it's a website. There's also an app for this one, and we got it right here. Hi Local. But I want to show you how it looks from the beginning. I'm gonna go again so that you know where to go. You can see it here. So it's Hi Local, and there you will see this screen. Ideally, you create your own account. If not, well, you choose here the language, right? And then you go with start listening. What you see with Hi Local is that here, Hi Local has different, let's call them tables. Each table has a room, okay? Each table has chairs. And there's many people sitting on those chairs, right? So if you want to join a conversation, you join a table and you ask for a chair if you want to participate. If not, you can just be a listener. So in this case, what we see here, because I chose, well, here we have all languages, but I want to go with English. And you see here that there are 81 tables available right now, which appear right now here. So you see English proficient here, but there are many more. There's English corner, there's English beginner, there's English intermediate. People create those tables, right? If I want to go to this one, I'm going to go maybe to this one. I don't want to be so obvious, right? I'm going to go here. There are apparently 36 people, but 24 have joined. I'm going to go to listen. Oh, I need to I need to have my account. Give me a sec. I'm going to stop sharing and because it's wait. And I'm going to log in right now. Okay, having a difficulty here right now with my account. So far, it's been a while since I don't use it, to be honest. So what you do basically is that you join as you go with that. You click on listen, and there you go. Actually, like is that I'm gonna create another account just for you to see. But here. Well, I'm going to share my screen again. I'm gonna go with
Irvin, while you work on that, just let me remind our teachers here that all this information will be posted on our social media and also our website. So if you don't have the chance to take notes during the presentation, don't worry, it will be posted on our social media and our website tomorrow, I believe. Also, I want to use this space to remind you about the Teachers App is coming to you, which is part of the Teachers App initiative. We will be announcing all of this very soon. And the idea is to have mini conferences, one in San Miguel and the other one in Santa Ana. I will stop speaking now. And Irvin,
perfect timing.
back to you.
Perfect timing. Thank you so much. So here we go again. Now I created my account. So you go to listen, and when you go to listen here's what I wanted to show you.
And I went to some pretty extreme things.
You see somebody speaking.
I actually used to set a timer.
Here you can see you can comment,
and I wouldn't allow myself to get out of the
here,
chair
you can comment. It says that I'm not
the
allowed
timer
to
went.
chat right now.
So, and I would experience extreme agitation, but over time.
Here.
I thought it was you, Irvin.
Right. Yeah, and it's actually there, right? It's there. So here you can see the tape, the chair I told you. So if you click on that chair, then you're asking the person who created the room that you want to join, right? And so if you join, then it says that you asked the host to sit at the table. They have to accept you, right? And once they accept you, then you can start speaking as well with them. Okay, and that's how it goes. You go choosing here. There are many tables that you can create, and again, it's really good practice if you want to interact. Cool thing about this is that there are no cameras, it's just your voice. So sometimes our students are very shy, but this is a good moment, and all of them or most of them are learners, so they sometimes also make mistakes, and that may make you feel more calm, right? So this is what you get here, and this is high local. Basically, how do I evaluate it? Now, in terms of availability, you need to have a computer lab, maybe, and maybe you need to have, because on the cell phone it's very difficult to do it. So you should do it in a computer lab or with your students' laptops. Accessible, it is somewhat accessible. You do need to explain how it works. You need to show it and model it. It's affordable because it's for free. It's suitable because there are many levels. It's authentic because you're forced to speak your mind, to get your own ideas, to get your message across, right? And it's engaging because you meet with other people. Now, normally, I would use it at the end of each class. High local, I would use it once a week in the computer lab, right? So if you have a computer lab, that's amazing. If not, also, you can ask students to bring their laptops, and if you have internet available, then that's nice. Doing it outside the classroom, then it's a little difficult because you don't have control over it. However, if you want to use it outside the classroom, you can just ask students to report what they learned, right? Maybe every Monday, you ask them, okay, so how was your high local experience like? What was it like? And so you can have a little chat before moving on to your class. Again, it's difficult. It would be very difficult to follow up on whether they are actually doing high local or not. But it's a way. This one is a classic, and it's Flip. I think that many of you have already used it or are familiar with it, but I had to mention it or bring it up because it's one of my favorite ones. And this one here is Flip. So you might be familiar with it. So basically what you do with Flip is that you create a group, right? And then you join your students in that group, and then you can create topics of conversations. So for instance, I have this one, right? I ask my students to join, right? So they join here, and then I created the topic here, right? Topic. And then here there was one, which was about life changes. And then students uploaded their video. Everything you see here, most of this, they did it in the classroom. So we took some time for them to do it in the classroom with their cell phones. There is an app, right, that you can download. So it was basically a speaking class, and it went really well. Students were very engaged, and I saw them working on their speech. I saw them making mistakes and them redoing it or remaking the video and uploading it or helping one another as well. So something I would also or normally ask students to do would be to watch at least one of their partners' videos and comment on it. Now, a disadvantage of this is that if you provide feedback, well, because it's a free account, they don't always get notified that you already provided the feedback. Also, it's visible for everybody, at least if it's a video, for instance, everybody can see it. So the way you can fix it is by giving students a piece of paper with your comments on their video, and then you can have them watch the video again in contrast with the comments you have provided, right? As you can see here, my students uploaded their videos about life changes, and you can provide here the instructions. I'm not going to stop much on this because I know you're familiar with it, or most of you are. And if you're not, I invite you, maybe you can YouTube it, right? You'll find that this very descriptive explanation there. So far, I've shown how you can foster interaction through TalkPal, High Local, and Flip. So I'm just going to go over two very quickly, which are Classkick and Kiowa. And with Classkick, which is this one right here. So ClassKick basically is you creating a PowerPoint online, but students are able to record their voices and you can keep track of their assignments. Here in ClassKick, you create a roster, which is like a class, right? Once you have created your class, okay, you can create an assignment, okay? You go here. Once you have that assignment, let's say this one here. Once you created the assignment, this was my assignment, and this was a speaking test, as you can see. Once they created this assignment, I will go to assign, okay? And then I would choose the roster, right, that I want, I want them to do it. So for instance, here I have the students that have done the assignment. I have Michelle, Gerardo Mejia, etc. And then if I want to know what they did, I am going to go and click on the slide, for instance. So in here, I can see that they uploaded the response. So the instruction was for them to describe this picture. And so the student started.
In this picture, I can observe a lot of people sitting around a restaurant. They are expecting to have their meals.
And it goes on like that. Okay, so as you can see, it's very easy to use. I know that at the beginning it might seem a little confusing, but it's really easy for the students to record their voices. Most of them did it from their cell phones. So, and then it's very, what I like also about this is that it doesn't take much time for it to load, meaning that it's very light. And the last bonus that I brought here is Kailo. And Kailo basically is this platform for you to generate debate. What you do here is that you create a topic, new topic, for instance, here. And let's see, let's say, should education be free? I know it's not question, right? And we know it should be free, but this is just an example, right? You create it. Once you create it, you can enter it and you can share it with your students here, right? You enter it and you share it with your students. When you share it with your students, then they can start typing their arguments in favor or against the question that you have posed, and you will be able to see here their arguments. What you can do, of course, is that if you're in the classroom, you can create two groups, pros and cons, and then they are all discussing, and then one person is in charge of writing there the arguments, and then it becomes a very interesting discussion of a topic, right? And very authentic and natural. Now, again, unfortunately, we don't have the time to go into detail for each of these tools, right? This is just some sort of overview and an invitation for you to explore these tools and websites so that your students can speak in a more authentic way. But I'm interested to hear from you. How do you use these tools? How would you use these tools? What is your opinion on these tools? Do you think that they would work in your classroom or not? And what other online tools do you know or have you used? Okay, we are gonna go into breakout rooms. We're gonna have 5 minutes or so, right? For you to discuss with your group these 3 questions. So, Ovidio, can you help us with the breakout rooms?
Absolutely. Before we go into the breakout rooms, just for those of you joining this for the first time, we take like 5 minutes to discuss in small groups. So I will send you in groups of 5 or 7. Please use this time to discuss on these questions. I know that some of you have already taken a picture of these questions, but I will be broadcasting them one by one during the upcoming 5 minutes. So you will see on your screen a message inviting you to join a breakout room. I just want you to, you know, click and go. Just let me set it up here. Like 7 participants. 5 to 6 participants. And let's see. So you should see the message on your screen inviting you to join one of the breakout rooms. Let me stop recording. So yeah, now that everybody is here, it's back here. I want to say thank you for sharing. Thank you for exchanging those ideas in the breakout rooms. I couldn't join all of them, but I know you had a wonderful
I
time.
did actually, and
Irvin?
many of them were having very fruitful discussions. So yeah, thank you so much. So I want to know if there's anybody who would like to share with the rest of us your opinion on the tools, or how you would use these tools in your lessons, or if you also want to any of the three questions, right? We have Carlos Zuniga, teacher Carlos Zuniga, and then Miss Norma Patricia. Go ahead.
Sure, then. Thank you. Thank you. I was talking to my peers about the first question, and we were talking about, well, actually, I was telling them that I am teaching teenagers right now at ITCA, and they are between 12 and 16 years old, and they love technology. They use technology a lot. So I didn't know about the tool that you talked about, the first one, which was Talkpal AI. So I think I'm gonna use it. From now on, I'm gonna be using it so they can practice with technology. I think it's going to be really interesting for them to talk to an AI software.
Indeed, awesome. Thank you. You know, there are also many other tools that do the same and that are apps, meaning that they are available on the cell phone. So there are also alternatives in case they cannot access because of the browser. They can download apps right on their phones that are also available.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, teacher. And we got Miss Norma. Patricia, go ahead. You're on mute, Miss Norma.
I'm sorry.
There
Good
you go.
evening, everyone, and it's nice to see you again. I was talking with the students, and it's a shame that the time it wasn't possible to share with others, and there are some people that they never like to participate, maybe because they feel ashamed. But in this case, what I was telling them is first, that it's something that the government has stopped with the schools, and in this case, is the crack. What is crack? Where the students have the opportunity to practice how to work with computers. And the students believe that for them, it's only necessary to work with the internet, to do something and present it, and that's it. But what about when they have to present something or they have to do something? And in this case, what I said to others is that it's necessary, depending of the ability you are going to work with, and in this case, it can be reading, listening, writing, or speaking. It will depend the activity that you will work with the students, but first it's necessary the teacher present or show the students the way how they will work, because it's not fair when you say, like, for example, in listening, okay, we are going to present a song. Look out for the song, tell me what is the name of it, and then practice, and I will evaluate the song that you will sing. No, the purpose is to present the students or motivated and the way how they are going to work. And in this case, the students will prove it. But if we don't know it, we don't do it, it's not fair. It's not fair. And I guess depending of the tools that you present, the students will motivate it, and they will, believe me, show it that they can. Because that's what we need, motivate the students.
Thank you so much, Miss Norma. I guess that what you mentioned is correct. We need to model how they are going to use the technology. Don't just tell them this is what you're going to do, but show it to them. If possible, project it, give them the step by step so that they can make effective use of it. We are running out of time, unfortunately, right? I know I know there's a lot to say. I know, Juan Carlos, I know. But we only got a
Don't
couple of
worry,
minutes.
I'm just kidding.
Thank you so much for understanding.
Just kidding.
And I guess that there are some questions. I guess that there was one question or something. I don't know. You tell me over here, right? How we are doing.
Actually, you answered one of the questions over there, which was about being if it was free, but then you mentioned that there is a free account and also a premium one that so you also got into that.
Okay.
There was one person saying the 10 minutes of the first tool, the
All right.
talk poll.
Mhm.
The 10 minutes is for chatting or for
Yeah,
voicing or
exactly. For them to chat, right? I encourage them to send voice note to Emma, right? To talk Pal AI, so that they practice their speaking. So during those 10 minutes is for them to practice their speaking, you know, in this controlled environment by me. And they are just chatting with, I mean, normally, of course, to make sure that they are actually chatting with TalkPal, students are facing the board, and I go to the end of the classroom, just making sure that they are indeed practicing, because we know once you have your cell phone, it can be distracting, right? It can happen to any of us. So it's not like we don't trust them, but we don't trust the times we're living in, right? So,
right.
yes.
Well, thank you so much, Irvin, for sharing with the audience. As I always say, the greatest room in the world is room for improvement. And even though some of us have been using some of these tools, you know, seeing it from you, how you use them, and hearing from other teachers really inspired me to, you know, give them a second chance or to try them again. Very important to mention that these systems or these tools are being updated every now and then. So if you used Flip some years ago, give it a try again. Maybe you'll find something new. So, Irvin, I will start sharing screen
Yes,
now.
yes. Well, I just want to thank everybody for the presentation and for staying here. And you have my email here also. It's really nice to get in touch with me, teachers, if any question or anything you want to share. It's more than welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, before we go, just let me here. This one. So Irvin, thank you so much for your time, for sharing ideas with us. I know that this certificate of appreciation is a certificate, and it's just a way to say thank you for accepting the invitation and for dedicating time to these professional development opportunities that we're providing for teachers of English across the country. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Before we go, please do not leave without completing the attendance form. In the chat, you will see it in just a couple of seconds. So yeah, somebody has already posted. Thank you. Once again, we do use your feedback and your attendance to issue certificates. This time, as I said in the beginning of the session, we are issuing certificates for all participants in each of the webinars. You're always welcome to join the webinars once a month. We are always looking for great speakers with a lot of experience. So you have a date with us every month on a Tuesday evening. Check on our social media. There are so many things that we're bringing to you. Teachers Up has started the 2024 with so many ideas that might be very interesting for you. So keep an eye on our social media. As I said some minutes ago, or yeah, some time ago, we're planning on having these mini conferences in Santa Ana and San Miguel. So we will get close to you. And listen, we're hearing your comments, your feedback. And because of that, very soon we will be announcing the opening for other teachers to become members of the Teachers Up initiative, so that the family keeps growing. Please stay tuned for more. Also, remember that we have the social emotional health component. So Sandra is very dedicated to prepare the next session. This is going to all of this information can be found on our website, and pre-registration is always needed. And we do that because we want to guarantee that you have a space and that you take advantage, or that you make the most out of this component as well. Next webinar, it's going to be in April. This one is going to be on scholarships for teachers of English in El Salvador. So we're going to have presenters giving you tips on how to look for scholarships, what to do, where to find them, and everything coming from an expert. It's going to be on April the 2nd, right after vacations, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Yeah, right after vacation. So we're going to be joining together on April the 2nd from 5:30 to 6:30. You can pre-register, or you can find the link on our website so that you can save your spot. Well, thank you so much for being here. Once again, I'm very excited to see familiar faces and you know, and always get together and to share a couple of ideas. Now, can you please stay here, because we want to take a couple of pictures to share them and to have them on our Facebook page tomorrow. Also, I will stop recording.